morning. Good morning. And welcome to San Francisco. Welcome to WWDC 2015.
And so the new name for OS X is OS X El Capitan. We've made Spotlight more expressive, more powerful, and more knowledgeable than ever. We've made big enhancements to the apps you use most, and we've made some real great advancements in the area of how you manage Windows on the system. And a demonstration, or whenever you wake your Mac, is finding the cursor. And El Capitan makes this easier than ever. I just do that little shake we all normally do. And there it is. It comes right out to greet you. It's really handy. But have you ever had this happen to you? You're like, where is this audio coming from? Well, now, with just a tap, you can mute it or find out where it came from and shut it down, just like that. Well, now, in El Capitan, we've made mission control smoother, simpler, and faster than ever. I'm just going to take 3 fingers and swipe up on the trackpad. You see I get into this gorgeous overview of mission control. Now, we've done something totally new to El Capitan, and it's the ability to work really easily on 2 windows side by side. So I'm just going to click and hold here on the green button, and you see it's prompting me to pick a side. I'll just drop it in, and you notice I get an expose of all my other windows. Let me pick the new news app, just like that. Next, you guessed it, iOS. Siri is a great assistant, but the best assistants are proactive. And so in iOS 9, we're bringing proactivity throughout the system. And we're going to start with a typical day for me today. And we're going to start in my bedroom when I woke up in the morning. And you'll notice, because my phone knows that in the morning I like to meditate, that it's offered me a meditation app right here in the bottom left of the screen. So I can just swipe up from the bottom left, and I'm taken right in to meditate. This is so serene. Oh, well, it looks like I got an email, a message here from Phil. So Phil says that he's putting together the invite for tonight's big karaoke potluck. And can I still pick up this super awesome karaoke machine? Well, you know, Siri actually, when I take reminders, is able to link me right back to what I'm looking for. So if I want to remember to pick this up, I can just say this to Siri. Remind me about this later today. And so Siri will put together a reminder, and you see the link right back to what I'm looking for. So you've seen how we've been able to bring intelligence throughout the experience in iOS 9, but we do it in a way that does not compromise your privacy. We don't mine your email, your photos, or your contacts in the cloud to learn things about you. We honestly just don't want to know. All of this is done on device, and it stays on device, under your control. And if we do have to perform a lookup on your behalf, for instance, for current traffic conditions, it's anonymous. Next, let's turn to Apple Pay.
We're working with innovative companies like Square to enable millions of small businesses to accept Apple Pay. This fall, Square will launch a gorgeous new reader. Later this month, Pinterest will launch Bible Pins, where you'll be able to buy items from thousands of stores, including Neiman Marcus and Macy's, right from within the Pinterest app, using Apple Pay, and only on iOS. You'll be able to add your store, credit, and debit cards. Store cards offer unique membership benefits, and leading retailers like Kohl's, JCPenney, and BJ's will be the first to offer their cards on Apple Pay. We will also add loyalty and rewards cards, also with a great lineup of merchants. With the expansion of Apple Pay and the new types of cards, we've decided it's time to rename Passbook to Wallet.
Notes is used regularly by about half of our users on iPhone. And for iOS 9, we have some really great enhancements. It starts with how you work with simple text. So now, Notes provides a really handy toolbar with formatting options. So it's easy, for instance, to create titles, heading. Because a picture is worth 1,000 words, we make it easy to get at your camera and your camera roll and put photos directly in your notes. We're also providing a great new way to capture your ideas by just drawing with your finger. A lot of times, the things I want to put on my notes are things that I'm looking at that I find in other apps, for instance, a web page in Safari. So now, from the share sheet, you can just, with a tap, add a link right back into your notes. But we know for a lot of our iOS users, they're mostly focused on public transit. And so now we've created a great map just for them. Yes, it's transit. For instance, if you take a subway station, like this one in Columbus Circle in New York, it's not just a point on a map. If you look closer, it's actually an enormous underground structure spanning many city blocks. And so we carefully surveyed all of the entrances and exits so that we could give you walking directions based on the time to travel from where you actually are. And we're going to be rolling maps out, transit, starting with these cities across the world. Today, I'm pleased to announce that we're introducing a new application, and it's called News. News is beautiful content from the world's greatest sources, personalized for you.
The first thing News wants to do is get a sense of what I like. So it's going to give me a short list of really great choices to choose from. And you'll see as I tap, additional recommendations come in on the bottom to give you even more choices.
With something really simple, which is how you work with text. And that brings us to the QuickType keyboard. It's really handy. But you know, what makes a multi-touch keyboard so special is that it can be anything you want. It can transform. And so now, when you want to move the cursor or make a selection, you can now just put 2 fingers down on the keyboard, and it becomes a trackpad instantly. So that's QuickType. But now I want to turn to the big one, and that's multitasking. Task switcher. It's really gorgeous. Big, full screen previews of all the apps. Finger swipe from the side. I can slide it right in with what we call slide over. And of course, it's fully interactive right here. I can take a look, maybe type a response, put it right back. I'm back in Safari. Let me do that again. Now from the top, I can pull down and bring in other applications. So let's bring in Calendar. Of course, fully interactive, so I can tap into another day. Let's bring in another app. I'm going to bring in the new Notes app, just like that. Now, sometimes, of course, I want to stay working in Notes and Safari, both at the same time, so I can just tap here on the divider, and now I'm in split view. They're both completely active. When I'm watching a video, I may decide I want to look something up or check something or maybe even get a notification, and I want you to watch what happens when I tap. Watch the video. Now I have picture-in-picture. Well, now, in iOS 9, we give you a single switch to enter what we call low power mode. And it pulls levers that you didn't even know existed and is able to extend battery life for an additional 3 hours. So iOS 9, intelligence throughout the system, Apple Pay, enhancements to really popular apps like Notes and Maps, an all-new News app, and incredible features now for iPad with multitasking and QuickType, and of course, enhancements to the foundations. HomeKit has been taking off with manufacturers introducing HomeKit peripherals to the market now in areas like thermometers, locks, and lights. And now, in iOS 9, we're adding support for window shades, sensors of all kinds, for instance, carbon monoxide sensors, motion sensors, and we're adding support for security systems as well. Next, CarPlay. So CarPlay supports audio apps, and now in iOS 9, it also supports apps by the automaker to control things in your own car without leaving the CarPlay experience. And CarPlay supporting more kinds of screens, wider aspect ratios, high DPI. But most significantly with CarPlay, we're pulling the cord. In future cars, you'll be able to get in your car without taking your phone out of your bag or out of your pocket. And for the first time for a major iOS release, a public beta. So sign up now at beta.apple.com, and you can get the beta when it comes out in July. And of course, we'll be rolling it out as a free upgrade in the fall. And iOS 9 will support all of the devices that were supported by iOS 8. We're not dropping any this year because we want everyone to get iOS 9.
And it's pretty amazing that today we're already talking about the next version of the watchOS. This new version will have great new capabilities, and it will bring native apps right to your wrist.
The enhancements include great new timepiece functions, improvements in communication as well as in health and fitness, and support for the new capabilities in Apple Pay and Maps and Siri. So you'll be able to do things like show your flight time from United, see the state of your home control system, look at the charge level of your electric car, or see sports scores, for example, from the MLB app. You can choose the information that you most like to see right on your watch face. And you'll be able to rotate your digital crown, and you can go both forward and backward through time, and the information will update right on your screen. London, when I rotate the crown, you can see it's changing the time and it's showing me things that are coming up. We've come up with a new user interface for this in watchOS 2 called nightstand mode. So when you put your watch on its side and it's charging, you get this beautiful display now of the time. And of course, you can set an alarm.
Before we close this morning, we do have one more thing. Today, we're announcing Apple Music, the next chapter in music, and I know you are going to love it. It will change the way that you experience music forever.
On Apple Music, all the ways you love music can now live together. Stream from the millions of songs on iTunes, anytime and on demand, along with hand-picked playlists, recommendations, and all that's great and breaking in music right now. And broadcasting every day is Apple's first 24/7 worldwide radio station, live in over 100 countries.
Let's go ahead and launch our new music app. You'll notice right away it's got a brand new UI, much simpler to use. Your recently added albums and songs right across the top. Let's play this new song from Spoon I added. One of the things you'll notice, we have a new mini player across the bottom that always shows you what's playing. And if I tap on it, I get full screen and I can see the beautiful artwork, all the playback controls. And we're launching in over 100 countries later this month with iOS 8.4 for your iPhone, iPod Touch, and iPad, as well as a new version of iTunes for the Mac, a new version of iTunes for Windows, and Android is coming this fall. Now, Apple Music will be just $9.99 a month, the cost of an album. And we want everyone to try it, and so we're making the first 3 months free.
This has been a jam-packed morning. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have.